everybody, and welcome to another episode of Wicked Glitches Podcast, where we talk about anything, everything, and all the things you don't want to hear. In the case of last episode, and turning your wife into a protein shake. Don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I would like to say that has haunted me since we talked about it, and literally yesterday, I was talking to Trav as we were going to Costco, and I was like, I have something that, like, I can't get out of my head. And it's not even the case necessarily. It was the logistics. And I told him, I was like, this is going to sound really gruesome. But, like, I explained to him what happened in the case. And I go, but what bothers me is the whole, how did he do it? How did he, like, the logistics of it? And I can't get it out of my head. So you've cursed me in that way.
I just can't get you out of my head. Sorry.
That's a horrible thing to have stuck in your head, by the way. Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I need to know more, but obviously we're not going to know more until
I know.
I mean, I don't need to see pictures.
No.
I mean, not that they would really bother me. Like, I'd be offended, but not
they bother me. I love true crime, and I find it incredibly fascinating on a psychological perspective. But I don't need to see that. I remember growing up and going on rotten.com, and that stuff, like, really, really hits you. I think we talked about it last episode, or one iteration of maybe probably in one of the lost episodes, but I've seen decaying bodies. I'm not going to get into the gruesome stuff, but, like, different stages of body decay and things like that. So, like, I've seen some pretty gnarly stuff. I don't want to see that. If I have a choice, I don't want to.
Well, yeah. No, obviously. And we did talk, it's on the lost episodes.
Okay.
Episodes.
The lost
because
episodes.
I remember mentioning how I got to see from that documentary the actual, like, JFK autopsy photos.
Right. Yeah.
Because, like, hello, look, if you don't know what happened to JFK now, yeah. But they, like, literally here.
But it's the same thing with, like,
here's the rest of his skull.
Yeah.
Like, so you literally saw everything. But I mean, yeah, I've seen
it's the same thing with the Jack the Ripper murders and the Black Dahlia murder. I mean, there's pictures of all that stuff for evidence. So I mean, but I've never seen that stuff.
It's not for the faint of heart.
I don't want. My mom has seen. I know the Jack the Ripper ones, but, like, I'm good.
Yeah, the Jack the Ripper ones are nuts. Like, it's just, look, it's all crazy, and I have seen, like, up close. I have seen, like, pictures. I'm just like, at this point in my life, I'm like, I'm not going searching for them, but if I do see them, I'm not gonna,
that reminds me of,
I'm not gonna
is the Charlie Kirk thing, the video that kept there was different angles, obviously, but, like, that video is like,
I saw that one.
You didn't necessarily look for it. You just be, like, fucking, like, scrolling through your feed, and all of a sudden it'd be like, damn, there it is. Okay, shit. I saw a video of it from a very, like, side angle, not the side that it happened, from a different side and a little far back, so it wasn't as gruesome, but it was still pretty gruesome.
Oh, you're lucky.
I know. So then from then on, I was like, I don't want to see. I don't want to see.
You don't go on any social media. You don't search for anything.
Exactly. Let me wait for this to, like, fizzle.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That actually brings up a good, not a good point, but it reminds me of something, and I think I still have it saved.
Oh.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me just 1 second, because I can't. I think her last name was Chubbuck.
Chubbuck? What a name. Congratulations.
Chubb.
Chubbuck?
UCK, I believe.
Chewbacca.
And she, was it Caitlin?
I don't know.
So anyway, sorry. So I think this happened. Okay. So her name was Christine. Her name was Christine Chubbuck, And she was a news reporter who worked for a news station in Sarasota, Florida.
Of course,
And
Florida.
she was actually the first person, or known as the first person, to die by suicide live on air.
That's
And there's a
awful.
documentary, or
That's
there's actually a
awful.
movie about it.
I didn't
And
know about that. That's awful.
yeah.
Oh. Do you know
And
what
is
that
it
reminds me of?
Michael Riley? Wait, who plays Dexter?
I don't
What,
remember his name. I don't
he's
know.
in it.
Okay.
Well,
I
there's
don't
a movie
know.
that he's in it. So, but yeah, yeah, it just randomly popped up about like all of these things where documentaries helped to either solve a crime or whatever. And there was also this British guy named Seville, Jack Seville, was that his name? Um, and he is probably now known to be the biggest pedo who has never gone to jail for his crimes because he died before they could arrest him.
I don't
And
know
he was,
about that.
oh
I can
no,
think
he was
of
a huge
one.
TV personality.
I
So he every single day had his hands in the cookie jar, so to speak. Like it's
I'm just gonna
crazy.
put it out there. There's another TV personality who's really big and is
Well,
not in prison and is definitely we're not gonna go there. Anyways, no, what I was
yeah.
gonna say was, you know what that reminds me of is speaking of the new newscaster thing. I remember growing up and there was a police chase on the news, and a guy, I was a kid when this happened, a guy set his truck on fire with his dog inside on a freeway and then went out
Hmm.
and
Yep.
on
Yep, that happened
fucking,
live too.
yep, and from then on, that's when they were like, we need to have that 15-second delay. That's
Yeah.
when that
Which
started.
I'm surprised it took that long.
Well, that was the first time I think
Um,
it happened on TV, at least out here. So I think they were like, shit. That was a
God,
really
when did
bad one.
that
That was like in
happen?
the 90s. That was like definitely in the 90s, like probably late 90s.
It was 98.
Called it. Yeah,
Yep.
that was brutal and traumatizing. I didn't feel bad about the guy ending himself. Like, he obviously had severe issues, and like, is it sad when people do that? Yes, but I was more concerned with he set his dog on fire in the car. The dog didn't ask to be part of
Yeah.
any of this. And like, they could have found that
Yeah.
dog a home somewhere else. Like, if you're worried about who's going to take care of my dog, you don't go, oh, I guess I'll kill it, which reminds me of those people when we were talking about the rapture, and they were like, oh, I'm going to take my animal to have it put down because after I get raptured, who's going to take care of it? That's insane. That's insane. People are insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what that made me think of because you said news and then people offing themselves. So good
Yeah,
times.
because I remember, oh God, I swear, I don't remember the dude's name, but I can see his face, and I swear it was like Fox News or something. Because they were the one that actually, I think, was broadcasting like what people were watching at the time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I can't remember the dude's name, but I just remember he was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." And I
Yeah. It
was
was
like,
very like, oh
y'all,
no.
y'all just let that man blow his okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah. And
That's
they were very like, we're
that.
so sorry, everyone. We didn't know he was gonna do that. And like,
How did you not know? I'm
yeah,
just
it was
I'm just saying. But you know what?
insane.
Hey, good things come out of unfortunate events. We now have the 15-second delay or however long it is now.
Which is really
And
good because that
it
was
it has definitely come in handy because I've
for
seen car
sure.
chases cut and shit like that. So yeah, yeah.
Good
Yeah,
times.
wow. Yeah,
What a way
it's
to
just look,
start the podcast. Heavy shit. It's
I
my
mean,
fault. It's my fault. I own it.
it's not your look, it's been a week, it's
It
been a weekend.
has.
I
It's
have
been
not
everything.
been feeling great. found out that some weird person was eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on my back
And
porch.
mace. Maybe he was trying to season the sandwich with mace and got himself in the
I
face.
don't know if he was actually maced or not. Like that
Oh.
was my okay, so let me fill you guys in real quick. So I'm getting ready to jump on to a work meeting and I hear someone screaming help. And if you've listened to any of other podcasts, you know when it comes to fight or flight situations, I run towards danger, not away from it. So I hear someone screaming help. I want to make sure, oh God, let's just make sure they're okay. So I go out the back porch, which I never really use. And I just make a quick left and then I pop out on the main street because it's not very big. And I see this guy on the ground, super skinny dude, long hair, kind of gives you like almost like heroin 80s metal vibe. Like,
Oh, I was
he's in a
thinking maybe
band, metal
Jesus.
band.
I was like, it's Christmas, it's
No, no, no,
Jesus, he
no,
needs
no.
your help.
Yeah, no. But there were already people from the other complex out there. They gave him water. He had put water on his face, but he was like, you couldn't really understand what he was saying, and he was just cursing and angry. So my thought was is that he probably did something stupid, scared the shit out of someone, and they maced him, like or pepper spray, I should say. So yeah, so I didn't do anything because there was already someone on the phone. So I was like, well, fuck this. I'm gonna go back to my meeting. And then I hear the fire truck because in my neighborhood, they are literally here like in 2 seconds flat. We're right near the like a couple schools. So they're like, oh, we got to make sure everything's okay. And so yeah, so I didn't really think anything of it after that because I was like, okay, the wee 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 came and scooted him off and everything was fine. Um, then my neighbor texts me two videos, one of someone walking up the stairs, one of someone walking down the stairs, and says, "Do you know who this is? Is this you? I found a half-eaten peanut butter sandwich on the back porch. I'll go searching for other videos later." Now, at first, when I looked at it, because the way she has her camera set up, you see the screen. It's not outside. So I'm trying to see what is on this fucking video through the screen. So I'm just like, oh, what am I looking at? And then I realize, oh, that's me. I've lost weight. So I just look really skinny in that. I'm very confused because at first I didn't know. She didn't give me a date, nothing, right? She just said, do you know who this is? I was like, what the fuck? Oh, no, that's me. And so I proceeded to tell her. And so she's going to look for other videos because my thought is that he was just fucking around and
Probably.
decided, hey,
Fuck around and find out.
this looks like a nice place to eat. You've got plants up here. I'm just gonna go and eat my peanut butter sandwich up here and then, go do whatever nefarious things I planned on
Yeah.
doing for the rest of the day.
I told you
Or maybe he
picnicking.
was just trying to find a place to get high. I don't know. Like it's again, I'm not trying to judge or anything. I don't know what the situation was, but if she does find the video and it does turn out to be him, I am going to provide that information to the non-emergency police line just to make sure if he's kind of hanging out here, he's not going to do it anymore. I think I may also, I'm getting my own cameras because she's moving. But also I have other things in place. You can't open up that window that's close to the door.
I might
Everything's kind
have
of locked
some
down.
that
So,
if you want some, I have the Blink ones if you want those. If I can find them.
oh, I have a plug.
The Blink
I
ones
don't
aren't
want to
plug-in.
use, well, I have plug-in and non-plug-in, like wireless and I don't know why I call them plug-in,
Okay. Well, we'll deal with that
blinks.
later.
But yeah, so I've just found that blinks, when they say that the batteries have a 2-year lifespan, they don't have a 2-year
No,
lifespan.
these ones it's a replaceable battery. Like it's double A's. So.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no,
But
no. Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
But
don't
that's what I mean. They say,
batteries. It doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. I don't want to get
yeah.
off on a tangent
Anyway.
of nonsense. So
Oh, too late for that.
I know, but
But anyway, so that's been the catch up.
ketchup. I
Other than that,
prefer
just dumb shit.
mustard. I would invest in some pepper spray though, since I know you're not gonna get a gun or a
Oh,
big dog.
I can't have a big dog.
Well, damn.
I'm a I'm not opposed to a firearm in this day and age, though, just in general,
Yeah.
the apocalypse. But anyway,
You never know. It could be a zombie apocalypse any day now. It could happen.
yep.
So,
But I do have my carbon fiber dagger
oh, that works.
in
That's
between
something.
my mat. Yeah, so we're good. We're good. I know how to use it.
I know how to go
Hope that,
poke, poke.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
What are we talking about? I don't know.
I
We've
mean,
got
nothing
so
and
much.
everything.
Actually, there's
Like,
something I found that I think you'll find intriguing because it affects. I mean, it doesn't affect you, but it's something that you've had contact with. Do you
uh-oh.
remember Storybook
Do
Cosmetics?
you Storybook Cosmetics?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, didn't you get those brushes from them?
One time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Long, long time ago. Yeah.
So I found out some stuff that was pretty
A-
interesting.
And I don't think I ever used them either. I think I just got them because I was like, oh, these are cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Dumb. But
I guess so.
uh-oh.
It was triplets that were running this company, but I guess one of them wasn't really in it. And I deep dived into this like whole thing about it. But basically, they started originally, and I don't have the exact dates of things, but it was like maybe early 2000s or mid 2000s that they
Mm-hmm.
started a Facebook page that was for like nerdy women, women into different like Star Wars or Akatar or whatever. Like it was just a
Yeah.
fan group on Facebook that had thousands of women.
I think I know where this is going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think
So
I know the story. Go ahead.
so well, it's like a whoo, but I'm gonna
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
condense
yeah.
it immensely. So basically, they decided to start doing a fan box where every month it would be a different fandom thing, which is also how
Mm-hmm.
eventually it became the makeup company. So like basically they started
Yeah.
this group for women who were into different nerdy things that literally had no other friends and were looking for community. So they built a community and then
Yeah.
started marketing stuff to these women. And eventually things I guess started to like they were kind of doing the rob Peter to pay Paul situation because then like they weren't really providing what they were saying they were going to. They were making these big promises and like eventually once they got into the makeup company, they like I said the one sister wasn't really in it, but the two were super active and one of them was really bad. But they would basically make all these promises, pre-orders, things like that, or just regular orders. And it got to a point like originally they were shipping stuff out for all this stuff, and eventually they just weren't. They just weren't shipping stuff out, or there's like dozens on actually probably hundreds at this point of stories of women who had ordered stuff and either never received it or received it really 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 obscenely late or they were doing these like phishing scams or like PayPal scams. The one chick, she would message like it was a copy and paste message being like, "Oh my god, you guys," or "Oh my god, girl, I know you're not one of the drama girls in the group and I appreciate you and I'm really having a hard time because I accidentally overdrew the account and if you could just like resend me the money, it'd be great." And so they would like send money and she'd be like, "Oh, it's got canceled. Can you send it again?" And she would have these poor like I mean, I don't want to call them fools, but like, how many times do you fall for that? And it was like dozens, if not hundreds, of women who got this. I'm only asking you to do this. Making them feel special because they're part of the
Yep.
group, and
Mm-hmm.
scamming them that way. And just there were women. There was one woman who she was like, "Hey, I have a family emergency. One of my kids is in the hospital and I need that refund. I need my order refunded." Because I think it was like $300 or more. She's like, I
Yeah.
need that money because it hasn't shipped. And so can you refund me? And she kept asking, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll get it to you. I'm overdrawn right now, or I don't have the money. I just need some orders to come through, and then I'll refund you." And she asked her multiple times, and she kept going, "Yeah, I'm gonna refund you," and over weeks never did. and
Mm-hmm.
then went on to the Storybook Erin or whatever her thing was, and posted a Starbucks gift card saying, "Hey girls, here's Starbucks on me. You know, everybody get yourself a drink." And I guess it was like a whatever code you can use for Starbucks for 300 and something dollars, the amount that the woman's order was. So she couldn't refund her. So she felt like it was a very like jab at her to be like, "Oh, I'm not refunding you the
Oh
money,
God, yeah.
but I'll get everybody coffee." And it was just like really weird shit. And like I said, she was also selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace or in the group or whatever, and being like, "Oh, here's Beats headphones that I don't need anymore, that I only used once," or "Here's a laptop," or things like that. And she was selling those same items to multiple people and taking their money and never shipping the items. And it just became like this ongoing fucking insane thing. So the makeup company doesn't exist anymore. If you try and look up the page, they don't exist anymore. I guess you can get the brushes still because they're mass made by like Sheen and all those other things, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just thought it was interesting because I remember you had bought some of those brushes, and I remember they accidentally sent you two, and so you had given me a set. And so I went
Mm-hmm.
down this rabbit hole when I saw the video of like the rise and fall of Storybook Cosmetics, because they did have a pretty cool idea. I don't think it was
Yeah.
executed well in most of the
No.
cases, because they were supposed to do
Mm-mm.
a monthly book that was going to have like Jane Austen or Little Women or just classic literature, but having color
Yeah.
stories based, and they would look like books. The palettes would look like a book, which is great. It's an awesome idea. And some of the color stories, in my opinion, didn't make sense. They also did a Starry Night one, and I'm like, that's not a book. You're Storybook Cosmetics, and you're doing Starry
Yeah.
Night. Like, that doesn't
Mm.
fucking make sense. Um, but it was just interesting to see, like, it was fairly popular for an indie brand. They were in Ulta. That was the other thing. They were in Ulta, but they couldn't provide stock to like the people that were ordering from their website. How are you in Ulta and also saying things like, "Oh, we can't even pay our power bill right now." But you're in Ulta.
Yeah. And
What
when
kind of
Ulta, when you sign that contract with Ulta, they usually give you an upfront cost, like, or, pay. It's kind
Yeah.
of like a signing bonus. So you obviously do have money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, do you know when like any of that ended? Because I vaguely remember going down that rabbit hole maybe a year ago, because
So
I
I
was just like,
think
what the fuck is going on here?
yeah, I think maybe
But I just
5 years ago is when like it came to a head, most of it. I think maybe 5, 10 years
yeah,
ago.
just you know what? Maybe it was before COVID. I
It
don't know.
might have
Maybe that's
been.
why like when you started talking about it though, I was like, oh, I know where this is
Yep.
going.
Yep.
Although I don't remember what happened like to the sisters. I don't,
They just, I think,
but
dipped, honestly. The website for Storybook Cosmetics is fucking gone. And here's the thing. The really crazy one who was doing all the scams and stuff was doing like these like collection boxes of like, oh, a flower one. So it would be like, a necklace, a candle, whatever. They were just little subscription boxes. And she's like, only five
mhm.
available and they're $200 each. And I'm like, there's no way whatever you're getting in there is worth what you're talking about.
It's
It's
like
the
the
advent
advent
calendar.
calendars.
Yeah, exactly like that. Here's some fucking shitty socks I got from the Dollar Tree. Like, yeah, exactly that. And I just,
Oh, dude, I just watched someone
oh,
open up the $800 Louboutin one.
oh. The Dior one I know
All
was bad. There was paper ornaments.
Oh, wow. Louboutin was better because you got keychains, you
I
got
hate that they do
um
keychains. Keychains are so fucking
yeah,
stupid.
they did a couple of lipsticks in the holder. Then you got just like the holder for the lipstick, and then you got the refill for the lipstick
Oh,
holder,
yeah, I think
right?
I
So
saw
like,
that
but
one. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
put them in individual ones. And then as this guy described it, perfumes that smelled like rich old ladies.
I might have watched the same video, honestly.
Yeah.
I might have watched the same guy.
Yeah. It was so
Uh huh.
hilarious. Like, and there were three videos though. I
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But he was funny. I liked him. They smell like rich old ladies. So just
Uh,
FYI, if you're looking for some Louboutin perfume, you too can smell like a rich old lady.
I'll pass. Thank you. I just think it's
I mean, at least the
bullshit.
lipsticks look good, but
No,
hell
because they're
no.
not even full size, most of them. They were like the little
These were full
minis.
size though. No, these
Okay.
ones were the good ones.
Because,
I think the ones that I really liked, which I would still never spend this money on Louboutin. It looked like like a really long stiletto of the heel, and that
yeah.
was like or almost like the long cigarette, remember
Yeah.
how they used to smoke those really long. So it was kind of like that. Those look cute, but then they also had the
The like
normal
pendant
size.
refills. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because I know some
So,
of them,
oh, and a nail polish.
a lot of the bullshit was like, they'll give you not even like minis. They were almost like slightly larger than a sample size of like the perfume or the,
Hmm.
so like instead of like a
Oh, the
bottle
perf.
like this big, you'd get a bottle like smaller than a nail polish. Like you know the mini
Yeah,
nail
the
polish,
perfume
which is
was,
fucking
what was it? The size
insane.
of like a ice cube.
Which is crazy when you're like,
Okay.
okay, you're spending eight hundred
Uh-huh.
dollars and you're getting something that's like, what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck is that? Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with like they would be like, here's a face wash. I don't want your fucking Louis Vuitton face wash. Nobody's fucking getting face
Yeah,
wash from there. Come on.
again, I don't know. I stopped buying advent calendars a long time ago. It's
I don't like the
just
uncertainty. Like you're spending money and you're like, gee, I hope I'm not getting a whole bunch of bullshit. And let's be honest, from what I've seen this year, you're getting a bunch of bullshit.
oh yeah, and I mean if you think about it, I don't know if you're the same way as I was, but I moved from advent calendars and did mystery boxes,
Yeah.
right?
Those are
Because
pretty cool.
usually mystery boxes, you could see what was in there and see the value,
Yeah.
right? Like you knew it was going to be from whatever collection. I mean, look, we both got mystery boxes from a certain someone who we will not name because we just don't, approve of that human and or lack
But
thereof
before we
anymore.
knew. It was before we
Yeah,
knew.
it was before Christ. No, I'm just kidding.
Before
Um,
Christ.
yeah, but it's also like the what do I get? FabFitFun. So I used to do the FabFitFun boxes and they were great because you would get not just sample sizes, but you would get actual sizes of product.
Oh yeah, like Ipsy and things
And
like that. They did the same thing.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so those are great. So, I think that those just kind of took over the advent calendar. But I think the lint one was LINDT, not actual like dryer lint, guys.
Oh, lint.
Um,
Lint.
yeah, Lindt. So this woman gets one, and I think she paid 12.99 for it.
That's not
And there were
bad.
only, well, so it wasn't even like 25 days. I don't remember when the number stopped, but I don't remember it getting to 24. So anyway, but essentially what it was is if you've ever gotten those candies, they have those little balls that look like little pellets,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
and majority of them were filled with one of those. Then there were two that had teddy bears in them. One was hollow, and then the other one she said had some really gross tasting center. And they were only maybe, I don't know, 2 inches.
The little baby
Um,
bears?
yeah, and then, just like Nestle, they have those little
Yeah.
tiny the rest were all those. And that was 12.99. Oh, hi, BB. She's like, I come to say hi and schnugs. It's so cute.
She's an advent calendar. You never know what you're going to get out of her, and it's probably
Aw.
not good.
Yeah, snuggles. We like snuggles. But anyway, so back on a random, I don't even know what we're talking about
Oh,
anymore.
Storybook
No, that's right.
Cosmetics. Yeah, it's just
That's
interesting
right.
because, like I said, it was a very like rise and fall of because they were popular enough and doing well enough. And you know what? There's a long string of those indie brands that were like that because look at Lime Crime. Lime
Yep.
Crime doesn't even do makeup anymore. It was bought out by other people. Like the original owner was problematic, much like Jeffree Star, and sold the company off to other people. And now they just do like hair dye, which is crazy because they had some of the best
Really?
palettes. I have some of their the OG, like the Venus palette, and you can still get some of the Venus palette stuff, not the OGs, not the like good ones, but on Ulta. But they don't sell them on their website. If you go on their website right now and look up Lime Crime, they pretty much only sell hair dye. They moved
Huh.
away from doing makeup. Yeah, but in Ulta, you can still get a couple of the palettes. It's so
No,
fucking
thank you.
weird. Yeah, it's literally just they're like, we do hair now. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was they were having issues with their formula or manufacturers. I know it's a whole fucking thing in the makeup industry, but it's just super interesting because that's another huge brand that like was top tier like with popularity for indie brands,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's gone the way of the dodo. And like I said, there was some scandal, but once she sold the company, I don't think there was any issue. They just kind of, I guess, bought and sold for parts. I don't really fucking know, but I'm bummed
Yeah, I
because
don't.
it has some of my favorite palettes. The first like two or three Venus palettes are like top notch, and they're like color stories are great, really
Yeah,
good.
I think I have what, three of them,
And
right?
they were known for the lip suedes, their velvets, the red velvets. Like that was
I
their thing was the
really,
velvets.
uh-huh. I
They had
really
some
liked
great
those.
colors, and gone.
Yeah.
Can't get them now. Like I said, you might be able to
Yeah.
find some at Ulta, but for the most part, if you go to Ulta and look up Lime Crime, I think they have like only a handful of things. Um,
Mm.
it's pretty. There's liquid liner in two colors, one palette, a eyeshadow and brush thing, and then a large eyeshadow palette and some graphic face stickers. That's it. That's it. That's all there is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just thought it was too much of a scandal and they're like, we just need to get away from it, or they found that people weren't coming back, or I
I
mean, there's a
think
lot of
I
things.
think here's the thing. They definitely overextended themselves under Doe Deer, which was the previous owner. There was the
Right.
lipsticks, the red velvets, eyeshadow palettes, eyeliners, eye glitters, lip glosses. Like they had just about everything, and I think
Yeah.
they decided to like pare down to like the essentials, and then even then I think people were kind of over it and their formulas weren't comparing to there's so many brands. Like the makeup industry is oversaturated with options at this point, whether it's
It
indie
really
brands
is.
or whatever else. So I think they just couldn't compete in the long run, and so they're like, we do hair now, the end. It's fine.
I mean, and if you can make money from, switching, because again, like you said, it is very oversaturated in the makeup
Yeah,
industry. I mean, you got, who was it? Was it Elf or NYX? Shit. Now
that
I
did
forgot
what.
who it was. Where they, oh God, I just
Get down,
forgot his
get down.
name.
No,
Hold on a second. Give me
if you
one.
give me a description of what happened, I might be able to
No,
clue
no,
you in.
no. So it was one of the makeup companies decided to hire Matt Rife, the comedian. And so Matt Rife, he's a pretty damn good looking kid, and people really like him.
I wanna say Nyx did it. I wanna say.
I'm almost positive. Well, whichever is the one that does a lot for domestic violence, because that was the whole thing. Like people were up in arms with the company because they're like, why would you hire Matt Rife if he is known for making fun of domestic violence in
Oh, I guess it was
his
Elf.
comedy
It was
sets?
Elf.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. And so it was just one of those things where it's like, look, domestic violence isn't funny, but you can also see where, like, I think he was actually talking to someone who had had a situation and she laughed, but that's, again, that's not what everybody's in for. So it's kind of like that was a little taboo of them to be like, oh, yeah, let's hire him. I'm like, did you not look at, like, did you not go through the vetting process? Like, do you kind of have to do that before you start doing shit? But, again, so then they're on the hot seat, but Elf was also on the hot seat a while back too, and they bounced back. So some companies can bounce back, some can't.
But I feel like Elf's
Some people give a
different.
shit, some don't.
Elf's a big corporation, and I feel like there's way
Yeah.
more forgiveness there, whereas small companies,
Which is
especially.
weird to me though.
Yeah, but I think it's because like it's a big entity. It's not a singular
Mm,
person. Like when Jeffree Star does something, it's he's the face of the company and he's in control
yeah,
of every aspect of it. So when he does
true.
something offensive, it's like, okay, well the whole brand is run by this one guy and if that's his views, that's what the brand stands for. Whereas
Yeah.
if one person in marketing was like, this seems like a good idea, that's not necessarily what the rest of the company was like agreeing to. They were like, they
Yeah,
might
you
not be
can just be
informed.
like,
Hey,
okay,
hang
you're
on.
fired. Let's move on.
Yeah. So
I
it's
get it.
I don't I think it's a little different in that regard because yeah, with like I said, Jeffree Star had his issues, and then same
Kat
thing.
Von
Kat Von
D.
D. That's another one that like now is.
Mm-hmm.
I loved some of that brand stuff, and now since the other company took it over and she's washed her hands of it, it's kind of not what it was for sure. They're not releasing anything groundbreaking. They're not doing anything interesting. They've gotten rid of a lot of
Nope.
the really good stuff. Melt is another one, that great indie brand that started to really
Yeah.
get a foothold. They're not really in Sephora anymore. They had a whole like section, a gondola, I think is what they call it, in Sephora. They're not in stores
Mm-hmm.
anymore, and they're barely online. And whatever they have online is only like things that are on sale, which is like one color in their eyebrow pencil, and then
Yeah, I was
uh
kind of bummed because I got some lipsticks from Melt and they all came like pretty much dried out.
yeah, I have one that I literally was gonna show you. I thought you'd get a kick out of it. Because I when I got it, it was like this. And this was from, I think, the first Bailey Sarian collection.
Oh yeah. Yep. And mine's the same color.
Is it the, oh God, what is this, Hemlock? Yeah, Hemlock.
Uh-huh.
Yep. It came like
Yep.
that. And I was like, wow. I mean, you can still kind of use it if you just like put it up a little bit and just like, but you can't like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with
No,
that?
I started using a lip brush
I mean,
just
that's an
to
option too, but I'm just annoyed
I mean
because
it yeah, the thing
brand
is
new,
like if
it
I
came like that.
yeah, if I buy something, I want to use it,
Yeah.
you know?
Especially for
And
full price. I mean, each lipstick from Melt is like $20 or $22, something like
yeah.
that. So it coming broken is just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's just annoying. It's like, why am I spending this much money on something you guys can't even, and then trying to get them to return things and,
The
or
other thing is,
resend things.
they've been pretty good on that front for me because I got one of their Creature from the Black Lagoon palettes. It arrived with one of the four eyeshadows shattered, a mess. I sent them a picture. They immediately sent me another one. That one had a different color in the same exact palette, shattered. So I was like, well,
Oh
I
no.
could complain, but at the same time, technically I have a full palette between the two, so like
Oh yeah, and you could easily fix it.
whatever.
Like, I mean, you could seriously just pop out the broken ones and
Yeah, both of them,
Bob's
of
your
course.
uncle.
There's two very dark colors, and of course those are the ones that
Hmm.
broke. So it just made a huge fucking mess. And
Oh God, yeah.
hey, enough. Do not
Wow.
do that. So
No, 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 mommy. Uh-uh. She tried to jump on my computer. Sorry. That
yeah,
was
I'm dealing with her. She needs to go out, and apparently nobody's capable of looking at their phone. So, but yeah, with Melt,
oh.
what I was gonna say was, uh, they used to have a very varied selection of makeup. They had all kinds of eyeliners. They had them in gold, green. Same thing with the lipsticks. They had purples, blues. They had all like their lipstick selection now has become very basic, like things that you see frequently. They're not doing
Right.
things that are off base. They're not doing blues and purples and oranges. Like, I mean, they have a little, like a neutral orange. They're going for basic bitch makeup. And I'm not saying that in a bad
Yeah.
way. I use basic bitch makeup. But what I'm saying
No,
is
I
they're
like.
going for easy marketable. And they got rid of their
Hmm.
eyeliners. They like I said, they had a huge selection of colors of eyeliners. They don't have those
Yeah.
anymore, and now they're doing the new Glide ones, and they're like, look, our first colored eyeliners. I'm like, motherfucker, those aren't your first colored eyeliners. You had colored eyeliners.
I liked the old ones too.
I did
Like they
too.
were,
They're gone
I'm
now.
out.
Um,
Yeah.
and they did that with some of their palettes, their makeup, like all kinds of stuff. And
It's just weird,
it
but
they I think they overextended, and then they tried to reel
mhm.
it back, and now they're trying to move forward again. And again, it's just like, what, like they originally, when Melt launched, they had the circular pans that stacked. They were
I
magnetically stacked.
loved those.
They brought back one. They released it like it was a huge deal. We're bringing it back, and it's like, why did you ever go away from it? People loved those to begin with. You know, they
I
took
was
those
curious
stacks.
to,
They took those stacks
yeah,
and
I
made
was
them
curious to see
into
if the
pallets, and then now they're back to stacks. What's the fucking point?
like I want to know though if the stacks are still the same formula. Uh, but you don't want to buy it and then be like,
Mm-mm.
"Oh, let me look,"
And you can't go to Sephora and try
and
it.
no.
So
Mm-mm. But I did. I loved those stacks. Like those were great. But
yeah, and they sold the
yeah.
palette that you could put it into, the metal palette with
Yeah.
the foam insert. I
Mm-hmm.
have two of those, and yeah, they go in really nice for travel, so you don't have to worry about them breaking. Are they bulky? Yes, but they're not gonna break. You're not gonna have issues, and they worked well. So it's just it's shitty, and I know we've gone on about makeup forever, but like it's just crazy to me to see the change and how these indie brands that were, like I said, massively popular and were succeeding and getting into Ulta, getting into um, Sephora, and now they're just like falling by the wayside, and they just, I think they got too big for their own britches, you know? They flew too close to the sun. They were like, let's do all the things. And they couldn't either compete with the bigger companies, or they overextended themselves and it bit them in the ass. So, or scandals. Scandals is the other option. So, it's
Yeah.
unfortunate. What can you do? But
Yeah. I mean, just move on. Find another one to use.
Black Moon's still around, and Black Moon's fantastic. I'd highly recommend Black Moon Cosmetics. They've got amazing lipsticks, both liquid and standard lipsticks. I use them all the time. I haven't used their eyeshadow palette, but I've heard really good things, and they've got great stuff. And they just did they have a storefront now, and they just did a thing with the Humane Society and had an adoption event, which is amazing. Yeah, so
Oh,
they were
I
getting
love
kitties
that.
adopted. Yeah, little black kitties. So 10 out of 10 on that. We love that. Go support them.
Yes.
Everyone else that is a scammy, don't support them. Icky. But that's it for makeup, which we don't talk about a ton on here. So hopefully we don't have to go back to crazy makeup shenanigans for the next, like, I don't know, 5 years.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think that that's something that will probably come up very often unless if we got burned by it, like when you were overcharged and I was not for shipping from a certain company. So
That was so
we
fucking
don't have to talk
annoying.
about that.
No,
I
it's just
mean,
ridiculous and stupid, and
yeah,
I'll just never buy from them
yeah.
again. That's my
Oh
experience.
yeah, no, I won't either. Customer service can suck the booty hole
Oh, for
for
sure.
sure.
Um, so I'm like reading through. I'm like, meh, 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 meh. I guess we'll get into. Have you ever watched Euphoria?
No. I
Probably
don't know. I
don't.
just like I was gonna go watch it, but I'm just like I know who's in it. I know what it's about. I was like, can't be bothered. So, and people that I talked to, they're like, yeah, it was good, but like not like I was like, yeah, I don't feel like it.
I don't. I don't understand the hype personally. I don't. It's not like, oh, this is a shitty show. It's not like that, but I just feel like it's overhyped a bit.
Hmm.
And because, like, that's, I was like, everybody's talking about this show. Let me go watch it. And I watched it and I was like, what are we doing here? This just feels like either, when they rebooted 90210,
Mm-hmm.
or like Gossip Girl. It feels like that, but let's
Oh,
oh, no, I love Gossip Girl just cuz it's stupid and it's whatever. But what I'm saying is, so we're take that but then make it adult. So, showing boobs, showing sex, showing, drug use and kind of like I don't want to say glorifying drug use, but like or selling drugs, but kind of. And I'm
yeah.
like, what are we doing here? Because, like, at least in 90210 or Gossip Girl, if teens watch this, they're kind of getting somewhat of a real, like, hey, drugs are bad, and hey, you probably shouldn't be at your age sleeping around, there's consequences. But, like, in
Don't
this
play with
one,
guns.
yeah, but in Euphoria, I feel like it's just like hyping up that stuff and not really like showing the consequences. And also,
Yeah.
here's the thing. We're adults watching a show that's supposed to be about teenagers, and yes, it's adults acting as teenagers, but something feels really icky about watching one of the girls is doing like sex work on like she's cam girling.
Yeah, but she's a teenager.
Yeah, and it's like I understand in real life she's an adult, but we're watching what is like glorifying a teenager being a sex worker to give
Yes.
herself like a,
Mm-hmm.
a boost about her like self, and I don't feel okay with that. I feel like again that's sending a really fucking wrong message because ultimately teenagers are gonna watch this and it's like they're gonna be like,
Mm.
I want to be like Maddie or I want to be, and I'm like, don't, that's not good for anybody. Like you've got these really insanely, disgustingly toxic relationships that are abusive. You've got like one of the girls ends up sleeping with and this isn't a spoiler because it happens like first episode. She sleeps with an older man and she's been going on like she does random hookups constantly on this like app and she meets this guy after talking to him on the phone and sleeps with him and he ends up being one of her classmates dads because she had just moved to town and she didn't know, and so that like obviously has its own repercussions and things, but it's just like this is icky. I feel like what are
Yeah.
of the entertainment that is out there, what are we doing with this? Like it feels like they're trying to do teen stories like Gossip Girl or 90210 but for adults, and I as an adult am not interested in seeing teenagers in extremely adult situations. Does it happen? Yes, of course, but like
Yeah.
let's not fucking glorify it. It just, and I understand they're trying to show
Yeah.
like the
What's your
harsh,
audience, you
yeah,
know?
I
Mm.
understand they're trying to show the harsh
Mm.
realities of growing up these days, and I get it, but I just don't think it's like peak TV, peak cinema. Like
Right.
for what it's being glorified as, and people being like, and I'm using that word a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but like for what people are giving the hype for and saying it's such a good show, is it? Is it? Is it? And I'm not a prude. I watch Game of Thrones. I watch Spartacus. I watch like
Yeah.
it's not because there's sex scenes or sex work or anything of that nature. It's just like it feels weird when it's
It's
focused
not
on high school
portrayed as their
students.
children. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because even though they're high school, they're still kids. Like, or the writing is saying that they're kids, even though,
Yeah.
yes, I know the actors are adults, but they're playing kids. And
It just
that's
feels
where
weird.
it's icky. It's
Mm-hmm.
totally icky. I get it. Yeah, we are far from prude. I think we can handle, I don't think a lot of things shock us
No, but it's
anymore,
just it's
to say the
as an
least.
adult, I
But
don't want to watch children like I said, being,
no,
and again,
it
they're not
gives
children,
a
but yeah, being like, oh yeah, she's a sex worker, and and even though she's not doing like explicit acts from what I remember, it was just like her being in lingerie and twerking, or she was doing like the shaming. So she
yeah.
would like, be making fun of guys and getting money for that. And still, I'm like, that's not appropriate. And this isn't
Yeah.
something we
No,
should
I
be like, here's
totally
an
get
option,
it.
kids.
Yeah. Isn't it canceled now? Like I
No,
thought that they
no. They're doing the third season. It's filming. But they did this
Oh, I
massive hiatus of like like 2, 3 years or some shit. Because
I
they
thought
did.
something came out where they were saying they,
No, because I
yeah, I
just
don't,
read
mm.
like a week ago or something that they're filming for the third season. I think the first season was before 2020, and then they had to wait because of the shutdown to do the second season. And then everybody got really fucking busy because Sydney Sweeney's doing all the stuff. She's been in movie after movie. Same thing with
Zendaya's in
Zendaya.
it.
Jacob Elordi, he got super busy. He just
Yep.
did so like they were like, well, fuck, like half the cast is busy doing other shit, so we have to wait to do the third season. Which the third season, they're supposed to be adults. Apparently, it's supposed to be like a 5 year
Uh,
time jump, which is
oh, okay. Well,
fine.
that's good. Yeah. Well, because if you think about it, it turns into a Stranger Things situation where
Yeah,
the kids just got so much older. Now it looks like grandma and grandpa playing teenagers, which it's not that bad, but you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like they're not children
Mm-hmm.
anymore. So it's like, yeah, but I mean it's not like that stopped anything because back in the 90s, maybe late 80s, I don't remember when it came out, 21 Jump Street. I mean, they were like some of them were in their 30s,
Oh no, no. If
you
you're gonna go
know?
to that, then you talk about Never Been Kissed and Drew Barrymore, who
Oh,
in the fucking
no.
movie is supposed to be 25. I think she was in her 30s when she was playing it, but I'm not sure. Maybe she
Yeah,
was
girl,
27. And but she's supposed to be playing an 18-year-old, and we're
look.
like, really, really?
At, at least they made her 18 because and it was funny because I didn't remember that when I first watched it. And I was like, dude, he's making out with a kid. This is weird. Like I
Oh,
know
her
she's not a
brother.
kid, but he fell in love with a kid.
The brother, yeah,
Yeah.
because he's dating the girl is supposed to be 16, and
Mm-hmm.
he has to be either,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's older than her, like
I
Josie
thought
in
he
the
was
movie.
older.
I don't know if he's,
Yeah, I
so
thought
he
he
would
was
either
older.
be 26 or 24. He's somewhere in there dating a 16-year-old and taking her to prom, and like they were gonna, oh, it's so gross. It's so fucking gross. As an adult watching it, I'm like, what the fuck? As a kid watching it, I didn't think
Yeah.
anything of it. And that might have affected things that I did later because I definitely dated guys that were older than me, probably by that much. Not okay, but
No.
that's why I'm saying, like, having this media out there and normalizing it is what leads to these issues because, like, kids are impressionable. You see it on TV, you see it in movies, and you're like, oh, this is what happens. No. So that's why I'm kind of like, this show is kind of glorifying some shit that's like,
Yeah, it's
oof.
again, I just never really had the urge to watch it. Like look, if you like the show, that's cool, but I feel like the audience that really has enjoyed it has been more of the younger
Yeah.
audience.
And here's
And
the
that's not to
thing.
say that I don't like young things because we've
Yeah.
already talked about the books that we read and things like that. So it's not that has nothing to do with it. It's just nothing made gravitated me towards um the show.
Yeah.
And I still won't watch it. Like I like things and I'm very sad. There's a show and I absolutely love this human being. He is amazing. He was on Winona Earp. His name is Tim Rozon. He played Doc Holliday. And Winona Earp is kind of like a sci-fi version of Wyatt Earp. Um, look, not all the acting is great on that show, but I absolutely love him. I've met him, I've hung out with him. Like he's a really cool dude. And there's this show that Sci-Fi did called Surreal Estate. And basically he runs a real estate agency, but like multi-million dollar, but it also throws in ghosts and demons and things like that, and how they try to kind of exorcise the demons, so to speak, out
Yeah,
of
because
these homes that
they're
they're trying
overweight,
to
they're out of
sell.
shape. Got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I just found out that they're not renewing it for a fourth season. So I'm very sad. Sci-fi has a tendency of doing that, kind of like what Fox did to a lot of our
They
TV
do, yeah.
shows.
That's all the time with sci-fi. Like, look at
And
Lost Girl.
I'm
Same thing.
hoping, yeah. Yeah, Lost Girl, perfect example as well. And so I'm kind of hoping that another company will pick it up.
I
but it's
doubt
hard to say.
it. I feel like anything
It's
on
hard to say.
sci-fi that gets canceled, that's where it dies because no one really picks things up off
Yeah.
sci-fi, you know. But back to the Euphoria
Yeah.
thing, I know people are gonna
Oh,
be
yeah,
like,
sorry.
it's not supposed to be like people are saying it's great and that kids should be doing these things, but you also have to take into consideration what you intend to put out. So they might have intended to make this like as a cautionary tale because it follows
Hmm.
mainly Rue, which is Zendaya's character, and how she's got drug addiction and she's
Yeah.
bipolar and like all that, and it kind of like branches off. The other ones are kind of side stories, but so it might not have had that intention, but you also have to take into consideration your audience. And when you
Hmm.
have teenagers or even adults that aren't great with comprehension, they're going to take it and be like, "Wow, they're so cool. I want to be like them." And that's where
Hmm.
I'm saying and getting that whole like it's glorifying because you nowadays a lot of things that they're writing, they're saying that they can't write shows and movies the way they used to because people don't have the attention spans. So they have to condense
Right.
stuff and say stuff outright instead of having implied things. And so again, they know that their audience is
Hmm.
not the best at understanding things. So I don't know. It just makes me like, icky.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. And I think what they need to do is they need to say that their actions have consequences. Just like when you brought up 90210 or Gossip Girl or something like that. Like you
Yeah.
always saw the consequences of the actions, whether implied or not. Now, granted, it was easy for us to figure out what was going on. I don't, can't really speak for the kids these days.
The
Um,
kids.
but
Zoom
yeah,
tight.
it's like you can't if you don't have a consequence for the action, then people just go, "Oh yeah, I want to do that.
Yep.
Let me
Yep.
let me hook it up." No, no, absolutely not.
Which I gotta
Oh,
say, 90210, the reboot, I actually do recommend if you're into that kind of show, just because they did especially for teenagers, they did a really good job of the whole action and consequence thing, kind of like the old 90210. You know, oh god, was it
yeah.
Brenda who got hooked on drugs back in the original 90210? And was it Brenda or was it, who
No,
was it?
I thought it was Donna,
Maybe it was
wasn't it?
Donna.
No.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But one of them did, and it was like a whole kind of after school specialty vibe of like, you can't do this, it's gonna hurt you and ruin your life. And, that's how it was. And they have a similar vibe in the reboot. There's a lot of something really bad happens. Like, spoilers, this happens like way into like either middle of the series or toward the end. One of the girls gets drunk at a party, leaves because she's upset. Something, I don't know if she broke up with her boyfriend or some drama, is driving and hits a guy and he dies. And I think she like does a hit and run because she was drunk. And
Yeah.
that has consequences that play out in such an insane fucking way. But it again, it's very like, she is, you see her struggling with remorse and guilt and the consequences, especially after I can't remember if she actually comes out and like it's been a while, but I just remember like that was a whole thing. And so it's
Yeah.
very realistic in this happened and now you got to deal with shit. Same thing with like one of the girls had bipolar disorder, and which I don't think it's called that anymore, but at the time this was like 15 years ago when it aired.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
She
Hmm.
wasn't taking her meds, and so it shows her kind of going off the rails, and her family kind of rallying around her and her realizing like she needed help and she needed to be on her medication and find something that worked for her because
Right.
what was happening, like she was spinning out in a really bad way. So again, it's not like when they do it in Euphoria, I feel like Zendaya's character is like, oh yeah, I just need to get more drugs, and if I just get high again, and like I'm willing to do stuff to get more drugs, and
It'll
let's go
fix
hang
the
out with the drug dealer,
situation.
and like I haven't peed
Yeah.
in 3 days, and it's like that's it's weird. It's weird. So I would recommend watching like one or two episodes, get a vibe, and see what you think because maybe I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe it's just not
I
resonating
mean,
with me.
like, I watched like it wasn't a clip. I mean, I guess it would be a clip, but it was still like 5 minutes long, and I was just like, I'm just not. It wasn't even the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, what am I watching? I don't know.
Yeah.
No. And I mean, sometimes it could just be the mood that you're in, you know. Like, I remember I was at my grandmother's house and I was trying to watch Moulin Rouge, and I was like, this movie's fucking stupid. I hate this shit. And then a couple weeks later, I watched it with Boo, and I was like, why did I not like it earlier? Like, the music's good, like the vibe, like
The
I'm enjoying this. So,
costumes.
oh yeah, that was the thing. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, I
sometimes it is
just
a
enjoyed
vibe.
it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But I think
So,
I
but
watched two seasons and it wasn't it wasn't a mood. It was
you
me just
used to
going,
no, it wasn't the mood. You would have gotten in the mood at some point if that were the case. So,
yeah, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, look, I'll give an episode a vibe, but I don't know if I'm
I feel like when you do, just live text me because I know you're gonna be like, "What the fuck
I'll
is this? Why is this
yep,
happening? Why did he
yeah.
do that? What a fucking idiot! What a dumb bitch!" That's all I'm gonna
Be like,
get.
I can't watch this fucking stupidity.
Pretty much, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's something. I don't get it.
wow.
But I guess that's gonna do it for this episode. It was
Yeah.
a lot. I know.
I mean, look, it's look, everybody who watches already knows that this is just
Sometimes we're
chaos.
structured
So,
and sometimes we're
but
not,
it
and
was
that's
something
fine.
different, you
Yeah.
know? We didn't talk about, well,
Murder?
we kind
Whoa,
of
yeah, we did. Fuck. Shit. Damn.
mm,
We tried. We tried not to
yeah.
talk about murder. Or did we?
Yeah.
All right,
I
well,
mean, look, it just always comes up.
it does. You can't help it. Death's a part of life, okay? We talk about life, we talk about
Yep.
death. One and the same.
Mm.
What can you do? All right, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you and you watching and following and all that good stuff. So if you enjoy whatever the hell this shit is, give us a like, a subscribe. You can find us on the Wicked Glitches podcast on most things. And we'll catch you next time. Okay, bye.
Bye.